Well, terrific opportunity tomorrow night. 4 more home games left. Expecting another big crowd, which is awesome. I've said over and over again that although we're sitting at 19-4 and certainly on the court, probably ahead of schedule, proud of it, but even more so proud of just the engagement from our fans has been amazing. So it's supposed to be another big-time crowd. Everybody's encouraged to wear red. We got a terrific Nevada team in here that was a phenomenal game last time we played. So looking forward to it. Excited to be back home. That break was necessary. Utah State is always kind of a challenging trip. It's a hard place to play. And Utah State's a terrific team. There's about 4 or 5 teams. They could beat anybody. And Utah State, when they're on like that offensively, was terrific. So took a day off, and I've had some really good practice. I've gotten better, and now prepared for a big one tomorrow.
Coach, as far as the last time you guys played them, how much did you guys talk about that, or do you just let that go and just?
No, we dissect it every play, and we evaluate what we did well, what we think may work again, what may not work. We've shown a lot of film on it. We'll show a little bit more film on it today and learn from it. So rarely, especially this early in the process, do you get to the old flush it and don't even watch it. It was a great game. Both teams made a lot of great plays.
Some of the individual matchups that I wanted to ask about, one was Will Baker, especially in the first half. He seemed to either just get loose a little bit and get open a little bit. You guys seemed to adjust to that. I think it was mostly putting Josiah on him, but I'm not too sure. What did you guys do to slow that first half down that Will Baker?
That was it. Yeah, we switched up the matchup, and it helped on Baker, but it also, you're putting Mo in a position of being on the perimeter, which is kind of not the most ideal thing. So that's kind of what we're trying to have to figure out is what do we want to do there? Because Baker is probably maybe the most underrated player in the league, I think. He's a terrific player, and Josiah did a good job on him for sure.
And then Keenan Blackshear's a guy who, with your small guards, maybe it's as simple as that, but he's a big guard, and he got a lot of shots that I thought were well defended, but just over people.
Yeah, he's playing a little bit of a Hunter Maldonado role. Not quite to the extent of that, but he's a big guard, and he had, I think, 6 points that just shot over our guards. So kind of is what it is. Javonte did a good job on him at times, but there's going to be times where our guards are going to have to be on him and maybe just get a higher hand up.
Would you say that both, maybe them and also you guys are different teams than even when you met the first time because you played some more games? And
we just try to get better every day. It's trying to narrow our focus to the best of our ability and, learn from the past. So I think we're both probably a little bit different. Doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but they've had some really good wins at home, obviously beating San Diego State, Boise State, and us. So they've got some good momentum, and we take a step back and we got to realize we've won 5 of 7. We've won 19 games. So we've only lost 1 game at home in this building. So can we finish out the right way?
So the other side of that, though, is like kind of reminding them, like, guys, we're still good. We're still in a good spot here. There is a little bit of urgency in terms of if you guys still want to compete for a Mountain West title, you get your 5th loss here, you might be out of it. It's to that point now where you guys...
Yeah. You don't, not to cut you off, but you try very, very hard not to talk about the end goal. Although certainly you want to win championships, and certainly you want to go to the NCAA tournament. You want to do all those things. But I feel when you talk more about that, it creates extra pressure and anxiety and all those things. So every game we play, we try to be as consistent with our approach. And that's been developed over time, as a head coach for me. And I think if that's the one thing that I'm pretty decent at, I'm pretty consistent with my message going into every game. So they understand the standings. They look at it. They understand the net ranking part of it. They look at it. But after 23 games, year 2, we're sitting in the hunt for an NCAA tournament bid. We're, in 5th place? I don't know, in league or whatever it may be. So, certainly there's a lot to play for, but I don't want them thinking about that. I just want them thinking about playing the right way.
What about guarding Lucas? What did you learn about playing against him for the first time with this unit, and how you guys did in terms of executing the game plan against him?
We didn't do great. No, I mean he got loose on a lot of situations that we got to be better on. And we'll try to throw different looks at him and keep him off balance. He's also a terrific offensive player. I'm not sure anyone was terrific defensively that game on either side, but they were really good offensively, and it was just one of those types of games. So he's one of the better offensive players in the league, but we certainly got to make him uncomfortable to the best of our ability.
What do you feel like would be like you guys' best basketball? How far away are you from that? Because you've seen these guys in practice, you've seen them in drills, all those different things. How close are they to like getting there?
I think we've had some really good moments. I think the key to being a great team is, okay, you lost one at Utah State, go win the next one. Don't allow it to be 2 in a row, 3 in a row, 4 in a row, 5 out of 7, whatever. Because we've shown, I mean, we've had some of the best wins in the country, at St. Mary's and at San Diego State. Teams don't do that. But it's a matter of great teams do it all the time. We're still so early in the process of building that who knows that's the case, but we want sustained success. We haven't had stretches like weeks where we've been really bad. Like we lost 1 in a row, so for me, it's just a matter of getting off the mat and getting back to work. So you never arrive. If you ever feel as though you've arrived, you stop working, and that's always been my mentality.
Of all the things you guys dissected, end of regulation, end of each overtime, how much was that a focus, not just for this game facing Nevada again, but even the games that have happened since then?
Well, it was a unique game. Obviously, the end of it I had never seen before with the flagrant. And then it just happened with Pepperdine, which was insane as well. So you try to evaluate where could we have been a little bit crisper and a little bit better and a little bit smarter. Mo's deal, I thought he got fouled a couple of times. Not complaining about the refs. I mean, I don't think that's what cost us the game. I've never been one to really look at that. I look at where can we be better. Like we're coming out of a timeout and a side out. We don't get the ball in. I got to do a better job as a coach to get that ball in. Or we get a shot clock violation. So, there's things that you talk about, but you talk about it in every game and you just try to learn and grow. And we had a couple of defensive miscues at the end. It was a 5-point game and we come off the strong side on Williams and we give up a 3. We didn't need to do that. So, I don't think the ending was why we lost. I really don't. I think there's things we could have done better.
The environment tomorrow night should be pretty intense. A lot of them have been, but there's a little extra with this one, as we all know. What are you expecting from the crowd tomorrow night? And do you talk at all to the players about the history? I know nobody on this staff or roster is still associated with the Alford era, but
John Wooden could be coaching and my players wouldn't care. They just don't. It's no disrespect to Coach Alford, but they don't. He was here 10 years ago. That's like an eternity to these young people. For me, I've kind of experienced maybe what Coach Alford has in a different extent with my dad leaving Kentucky and then going back to Louisville. Coach Alford did amazing things here in 6 years. Coach Neal, I got a lot of respect for both of those guys. It's just part of the profession where, there's the old expression, it never ends well because if it didn't, it wouldn't end, right? And so it rarely ends the way we all want it to end, whether it was my dad leaving Kentucky to go to the Boston Celtics, amazing opportunity. Coach Alford obviously going to UCLA, amazing opportunity. I understand it. But I know fans are very, very passionate, and they love their Lobos, and they love the state of New Mexico, and I get it. But I've got a lot of respect for Coach Alford, what he's done. I think he's a terrific coach. He's a good guy, built a great program, and he was one of the reasons why, because I had a similar path. Although I was fired at Minnesota, Iowa, he had some good years, but it was kind of similar to what we were going through. And I felt like Coach Alford came in here and just did an amazing job, and I feel like we can do the same thing. So I don't tell fans what to think or what to do. I just hope they show up and cheer on the Lobos. So I got nothing but respect for him as a coach.
Not even a little bit of trash talk, nothing.
No, not for me. Not for me.